Welcome to the Fertility Coaching Mastery Podcast. I'm Dr. Kela Smith, fertility and hormone expert and founder of the Hormone Puzzle Society. I help wellness professionals like chiropractors, acupuncturists, doulas, nutritionists, personal trainers, and health coaches integrate fertility coaching into their work and build thriving, purpose-driven practices. I also work with beginners who are ready to step into this work and use their own painful story for their purpose. If you're ready to confidently support fertility clients, attract aligned clients, and grow a business that truly makes an impact, you're in the right place. Now let's dive in. Hey, business bestie. Welcome back to the Fertility Coaching Mastery Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kela Smith, a holistic doctor and a specialist in fertility and hormones. I'm the founder of the Hormone Puzzle Society and the Hormone Puzzle Society's Educational Institute. And today I want to talk about something that I believe is one of the most important skills that you can develop as you build a successful fertility coaching practice. And that is learning how to build trust. Now, I know trust isn't necessarily the sexiest business topic. It's not a new marketing strategy or an AI tool or a social media hack, but I've learned over the last 13 years of building my business and working with fertility patients and training fertility coaches, hosting podcasts and summits and certification programs that people do business with people they trust. Not the person with the fanciest websites, not the person with the most followers, not even the person with the most certifications, although I do feel certification is important. They work with the person they trust the most, and that is especially true in the fertility space. When a woman reaches out to a fertility coach, she's often doing so during one of the most emotional, vulnerable, challenging seasons of her life. She may have been trying to conceive for months or even years. She may have experienced loss. She may have gone through failed treatments and told everything was normal from her conventional doctor, when deep down inside, she knew that something just wasn't right. By the time she reaches you, she isn't looking for someone who can recite research studies to her. She's looking for someone who understands what she's going through and can help guide her forward. That's why trust matters so much. And the good news is, trust is something that every coach can build. The biggest myth about getting clients, and one of the biggest myths that I see aspiring fertility coaches believe, is that they need one more certification before they're ready. I hear it all the time. I need to learn a little bit more first. I need to take another course. I need more credentials. I need to know everything before I can help somebody. And that is just not true. The reality is that clients aren't hiring you because you know everything. Nobody knows everything. They're hiring you because they believe you can help them. They trust you. Think about your own behavior. When was the last time that you hired someone after seeing one social media post? Probably never, right? Most of us follow somebody for months. We see tons of their content. Every time we open their phone, there they are. Sometimes it's over years. We'll listen to their podcasts and read their emails and watch their YouTube videos, consume their content, and we honestly start feeling like we know them. I know I do. And that's how trust is built. It's built long before someone ever books a call with you. People need to know your story. And one thing that I think many coaches underestimate is the power of their own story, especially in the fertility space. If you've walked through infertility yourself, if you've worked in the infertility space, or if you just feel called to do this work, this matters. People connect with people that know that they can understand their journey. They want to know why you do this work. They want to know why you care. They want to know what makes you different. And for me, everything started with my own personal journey through infertility, being told I had unexplained infertility and that IVF was my only option because I was advanced maternal age at 36 years old. Still blows my mind to hear that. And this didn't sit well with me. I didn't want IVF to be my next step. I was just getting started. And so this led me to dig deeper. I started researching and learning, and eventually my journey led me to healing myself. I had 2 children. My last was born when I was 40. And that experience didn't just change my health, it changed the trajectory of my entire life. And when I share that story, people connect with it, not because it's just a story, not because it's special, but because they see part of themselves in that story. And that's what stories do. It creates a connection with your ideal clients, a connection that creates trust. And so stop trying to impress people. They want to connect with your real story and know that you've walked this walk too. And sometimes I see coaches too where they feel like they need to know everything. They need to prove themselves. They need to look like the smartest person in the room. They'll use complicated language. They'll overwhelm people with information. And what I've seen in my own practice is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And this is a quote that I've seen and I just love. And the most trusted practitioners that I've ever met are usually the ones that explain things in simple and a relatable way. They make people feel comfortable. They have good bedside manner. They make people feel heard and understood and seen. They allow safe questions. And that is what trust looks like. Consistency builds credibility. So let's really dive into consistency because this is also where coaches struggle. And I see this a lot. They'll post for a week and then they disappear. They'll start a podcast and then they'll stop. They'll send one newsletter. They don't get any response and then they don't send another for 2 months. And the problem is that trust is built through repetition. People need to see you. They need to hear from you. They need to learn from you over and over again. And this doesn't mean that you have to post 10 times a day and just live on social media. It just means that you need to be consistent. And one of the reasons podcasting has been such a powerful part of my business is because it allows people to spend time with me every week. I have been consistent with this podcast for the last 7 years. I've released 1 episode, sometimes 2 episodes a week. So people connect with me. They hear my voice. They hear my story and my philosophy. And over time, that builds trust. The same thing happens with my newsletters and my social media and my videos and my master classes. If I'm nothing else, I am consistent, almost to a fault where I feel guilty if I'm not consistent. Some of the things you need to think about with being consistent is teach more than you sell. Education is king. Give away your best stuff. I know some coaches say not to do that, but give away your best stuff. And the more you can give away your good stuff, think about what people will start to think. Oh my gosh, if this is her free stuff, what is her good stuff? What is her paid stuff going to look like? And so that's what I encourage you to do is really think about your content. And one of the reasons why I think content marketing works so well is because it allows people to experience what it's like to learn from you before they ever become a client. So every time you do things like a podcast episode, a newsletter, social media post, a live video, it's all building trust. Listen more than you talk. This one is huge. And honestly, it's one of the reasons fertility coaching is so powerful. Most women and couples, they just want to be seen and heard. They've been rushed through appointments. They've been often dismissed. They've been told their labs are normal. They've been told to keep trying, to stop stressing, to come back in 6 months when things are failing after they've had 3 miscarriages, which is so crazy to me. And sometimes the most healing thing that you can do as a coach is just listen and then get curious, ask questions, hold space for these wonderful women and couples. Again, make them feel seen and understood and heard. That's the power of listening. People remember how you make them feel, not what you say to them. And then trust also creates referrals, because trust just doesn't help you get clients. It helps you keep clients. It helps you get referrals. It helps you creates word of mouth. And when clients trust you, they tell their friends, they tell their family, they tell their support groups and their coworkers and their sisters and brothers. The strongest businesses are not built on ads. They're built on relationships, and relationships are built on trust. And what would I do if I were starting over? Well, if I was starting my fertility coaching business from scratch today, I would focus on one thing, and that would be serving people. And that is what I've done in my business and why I've been able to grow. But for you, I would recommend you start there. Stop worrying about your website and your logos and being perfect and knowing every single thing that you can know, but focus on consistently showing up and helping people. Share your story, educate people, give more than you ask, answer questions, create good content, host live, workshops and events, build relationships, because trust is the foundation of every successful fertility coaching practice. And if you're listening to this today and you're wondering how to grow your fertility coaching practice, or how to start a fertility coaching practice or add fertility coaching to your practice, and stop asking, how do I get more clients? And start asking, how do I build more trust? Because when people trust you, the growth will follow. And so will the referrals, and so will the opportunities. And trust isn't built overnight. It's built through consistency, authenticity, education, and genuinely caring about the people that you serve. And the beautiful thing is every single one of us has the ability to do that. So if you've been thinking about becoming a fertility coach, but you're not sure where to start, I would start by downloading my free Fertility Coach Roadmap. You can do that at fertilitycoachingmastery.com. And inside this roadmap, I walk you through the exact steps to build a successful fertility coaching business and make a meaningful impact helping women and couples on their fertility journeys. And if you want more personalized guidance, I also offer free connection calls. This is where we get on a Zoom call and I talk to you about your goals, your background, and whether fertility coaching could be the right next step for you or for someone on your team. And if eventually you decide that you want to become a certified fertility coach or add a certified fertility coach into your wellness practice, then we'll talk about that on our call too, what that would look like. Thank you for listening. And I am just so proud of you. I love every episode we have together. I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode of Fertility Coaching Mastery. Bye for now. If this episode resonated with you, make sure you've subscribed so you never miss a new one. And if you found this helpful, I would love for you to leave a review or share it with another practitioner who's ready to step into fertility coaching. You can also download the Fertility Coaching Roadmap in the show notes to start to build your next level of impact. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Because the world needs more supported fertility journeys and more practitioners like you leading the way.